What's up, guys? I'm back at y'all with another video. Now, we're going to talk about self-love. You're going to start to notice that you're going to honor yourself. You're gonna end up putting yourself first on this semen retention journey. And that's what's going to, get that beta male out of you. If you are one to the beta males, you're not going to put women first on the semen retention journey no longer. You never going to do that when you get on semen retention. So you guys got to understand that semen retention is self-love. I'm going to say it is self-love. This is what self-love is. This is how you develop self-love, by being on semen retention. As you start to retain longer and longer and longer, you're going to find yourself focusing more on your inner self. You're going to start to love yourself. You're going to start to be yourself around people. You're going to truly be yourself, whether it's around females or your male friends, or if you have any male friends or not. You know what I'm saying? You're going to just start being yourself. You're not going to compromise for nobody. And once you develop that self-love on this semen retention journey, that's when you're going to start to develop and crave more wisdom. You're going to crave more knowledge. I'd rather listen to someone else's experience about a situation and learn from that than to go through a bad situation just because I didn't listen. You're going to develop a lot of wisdom. You're going to put yourself on the pedestal. You're going to be that celebrity. You're going to be that celebrity, bro. As you develop self-love on this semen retention journey, your self-esteem is going to go up, which is you're going to develop more confidence because you love yourself. Once you love yourself, you're going to end up being confident in yourself. Self-love can help you out when it comes down to finding your purpose. Because once you truly love yourself, you start finding out things that you actually love and, it makes you happy to do. Self-love is the tool, is the main tool you need to progress in life. You're going to want to do better when you love yourself. You're going to want to get out and discover more when you love yourself. You're not going to be, trapped in fear. You're not going to let fear overshadow you anymore. As you develop self-love on this semen retention journey and keep retaining, the longer you retain, the more, you love yourself. Because you're building up your body. You're building up your insides. When you develop self-love, you're going to want to help people. You're going to really find out that it's better to give than receive. You're going to really truly find out that, and you're going to understand that. You're going to become a much better human being in this society. When you develop self-love, you're going to develop self-image as well. You're not going to just want to you're not going to go anywhere just looking any kind of way. You're going to want to look your best. You guys got to understand that self-love is semen retention. Don't let nobody fool you. Because when you're not on semen retention and you constantly relapsing, that's a sign of self-hate. You guys just didn't know that. That was self-hate. That was not self-love. Constantly relapsing. You destroying yourself. You losing mentally. You losing spiritually. And you losing physically. Self-love is the key that you need on this semen retention journey. Self-love, you will develop standards. You won't let people walk all over you. You could tell a woman no. You could tell a man no. And don't feel no type of way about it. Don't feel insecure about saying no. When you develop self-love on this semen retention journey, you're going to truly find out that it's better you got to help yourself in order to help others. You got to help yourself first. So you're going to try to help yourself. It's okay to help yourself first. Because if you're struggling, how you going to help someone else? If you ain't got it, how you going to give it? How you going to give if you ain't got it? When it comes to this self-love on semen retention, you're going to find out you're going to have a more positive mindset. You're going to have a more positive mindset. You're going to have a more positive mindset when it comes down to the outlook on your life. You're going to look at life as different phases. When something bad happens, you're going to say, the universe did that for me. It moved that person out my life for me. It didn't do it to me. When trauma comes, you're going to say the universe, you know what I'm saying, it's trying to tell me something, You're not going to look at trauma as like, oh, I'm the only one that's going through this. You're going to look at trauma like in a perspective of like, okay, I need to stop this. If you're doing something wrong, you're going to want to fix your mistakes when you develop self-love on the semen retention journey. You're going to own up to your mistakes when you develop self-love on the semen retention journey. You're going to want to fix that shattered heart when it comes to the semen retention journey on this self-love journey of semen retention. Even if you do have a shattered heart, with that self-love that you have that you're going to develop on the semen retention, you're going to still be able to strive, and keep going. When it comes down to your purpose, you're going to let a shattered heart stop you from becoming that virile man that's amongst men. When it comes down to self-love on the semen retention journey, you're going to have a train of thought that most won't understand, but some will accept. When it comes down to self-love, you're going to find out that all the traumas that you went through, you might not understand them, but you're gonna come to the greater knowledge of and wisdom that certain things that you went through is not meant to be always understood, but accepted. You're gonna develop self-love is semen retention, bro. For the newcomers, I'm encouraging you guys right now, stay on semen retention and keep retaining. You want to lose all that self-hate? You want to lose all that, that doubt in your mind? Get on semen retention. Semen retention is the best option. You want to lose all that fear? You want to lose that scarcity mindset when it comes down to your purpose and going after it? Semen retention will be your best friend. Semen retention will be closer than a brother would. Semen retention. Hope y'all got something out of this video. That semen retention, you're going to develop a lot of self-love. You're gonna be that powerhouse. You're going to be dominant in the field that you choose to, pursue. You're going to have standards, morals, and integrity. You want that standards, morals, and integrity? Get on semen retention. And you're going to develop that self-love to gain that. Hope you guys got somebody this video. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other videos. It's Coleman.